Hello everybody, we're on day 3 and here's just a few hints for you. You're going to watch the function vocabulary video. That's an important step to understand what a function is and how it works. So the first thing you're going to do is rewrite this as a function. So right here it says that Iowa students had come up with a rule relating the length of the stretched rubber bands to the attached weight in this way. So if you rewrite it as a function, this is L as a function of W. So we write it like that. And you're going to do these other ones on your own, but I just want to kind of do one example for you. And we're talking about independent variables and dependent variables. The independent variable is the one that you are changing to get results for, or the input. So you are putting in the weight to find out what the new length is, right? You're not putting in the length to find out what the weight is. So that is the independent variable, is W, and then of course the length would be the dependent variable. Okay, so you can go ahead and do this one on your own, and go ahead and tell us how you know what the independent and the dependent variable are. Okay, going on down to the parking lot, you're going to set up a function here, the cost in dollars based on the amount of time. So you're going to come up with that rule. Okay, and then you're going to be able to graph it. So make your table of values and then graph it. So we have our numeric, we have our graphic, and then you have your symbolic on the previous page, writing out the relationship. Okay, and then explain, is C a function of T? Okay, so are you inputting T, or are you inputting the cost and finding out how much time it is? So that's how you would explain that. Is C, are you finding out the cost from the given time, or are you finding out the time from the given cost? So that's the relationship of a function. Okay, on to 4. Here we're again talking about the definition of a function. So a function doesn't have to just be numbers. It could be names, right? You could say, I'm going to input a customer name. So I don't know, maybe this is like the phone number function. So you input a customer name and you get out a phone number, right? So this works as a function too. So you put in for every name you get out a number, right? For every name, and there's no names that are the same that get different phone numbers. So you could say that this is a function, but is it a function the other way? So if I put in a phone number, do I get out a single name? So if I have any numbers that are the same, it looks like these two are the same, right? So does this number always give me the same result? When I put this number in, do I always get the same result? That's just a little hint for you. Okay, on to 5. Watch the Yam in the Oven video. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once you watch that video, you should be able to do these problems. Okay. On to how is the weather, number 8. How is the weather? Talks about these 3 graphs that are following. So this graph, this graph over here, and this graph over here. So they have 3 situations or 3 stories, and how do these stories match up with this graph, or which of these stories match up with this graph? So there was a beautifully sunny day from sunrise to sunset, not a cloud in the sky. So does that represent this graph? And right here it's solar radiation, so like how much sun is being shown is on this axis, and then over here is the hours of the day. So try to determine how those 3 graphs match up with those 3 stories, and then finally you're gonna do your own stories based on these graphs. So can you give a description of what's happening? This is over certain days, right? So February 7th, 8th, 9th. So over these days there is a change in, looks like temperature. Yeah, temperature. So can you describe what's happening here, and why is it going the way it is? Okay, and then just a couple more stories. You have to describe what the graph shows, and then tell a detailed story using the information across those graphs. Okay? And that's it. You're going to reflect in your journal.